All right, guys, it is product review time. So before we get into this, we have two different categories that we're going to be covering with this review. We have a universal set of standards that I want to apply to all products that I'm going to review, and then we have a product specific list. So for the universal ones, what we're going to be concerned about with that is packaging. We're going to be concerned about price per use, and we are going to be concerned about scent. With the product specific ones today, we are doing a car wash. So that is going to be lubrication, foam production, and resistance to sunlight. Those things are going to be basically how we build out whether or not this is a product I personally would recommend buying at this time. I want to make that clear. This is not going to be like a hard and fast for everyone rule. It's going to be dependent on a few different things. But with that, today we are reviewing Blackline Ballistic Extreme Foaming Car Wash. If the camera would focus on it. Focus. It's not going to focus. Okay, so real quick, just to cover packaging. I honestly love the packaging of this. It looks beautiful. It looks super sleek, super professional. The only thing that there's only like a couple things on here that I would say I'm not necessarily a fan of. That's the singular seam that it has on its product label. I feel like because there's only one seam, it kind of makes it look a little unsightly. So the only thing I would change about the packaging of this is either make this a two label bottle or use like a shrink wrap sleeve instead. I don't know if there was a cost purpose for going with a single label. That might be the case. I don't know the company personally. Secondly, on the back of the bottle, they take up a lot of space right here, basically just describing the product again to you, which that's a lot of space to take up on that small of a package, whereas you could actually get some really important information on there. The reason why I bring that up is the instructions that are on the bottle are different than the instructions that are on their website, as well as in the email that was sent to me from the company about how to use the product. That might just be due to space. On here it says pour 1 to 2 ounces of the soap into your foam cannon or wash bucket. Fill the remaining amount of your foam cannon with warm distilled water. Spray and wash a thick blanket of foam on your car. On the website it says 1 to 2 ounces in your foam cannon, and it says a ½ ounce per gallon in your wash bucket. So that's the method that I'm going to use. I'm going to use those dilution ratios that were on the website. That's just a verbiage error in my opinion. The other thing is it says read material safety sheet before using. This might be a me issue, but I couldn't find their safety sheet on their website. That might be a site navigation problem. That might just be me not looking in the right spot. So that is one thing that I wanted to bring up. Before we go any further though, I did want to say the amount of communication from this company is unreasonably high. I love it. They sent me instructions. They sent me information about some of the other products they're going to be launching. Every time anything happened with my order, they sent me an email. So they sent an email for order received. They sent one for order packaged. They sent one for order shipped and order received at household. Like, I got so many emails within a week from this one company, and I love that. Keep that up, guys. You guys are doing amazing as far as your customer service, and I really appreciate that. So next, covering scent. Before we put it into its proper dilutions, we're going to do scent on both of those. For me, it's a really chemically, like almost tea tree oil and lemon scent. It's really kind of abrasive in its concentrated form, which you'd expect from a concentrated chemical. So we're going to dilute that out, and we're going to check the scent on it again after we do that. Cost per use, we're going to get into a little bit further down the road. This 16-ounce bottle does cost $20, but if you join their affiliate program, you do get 25% off. So we're going to be covering that. So yeah, let's get this set up and let's get ready to go. All right, real quick before we get into this wash, I just wanted to let you guys know that this is not a paid promotion. This is a product that I bought with my own money just to test out and show you guys what it does. So anyway, back to the video. So in my soap bucket, I have 4 gallons of water. So we're gonna end up putting 2 ounces of the soap in there. That is a very, very green soap. It's also very liquidy. I'm surprised with the like focus on like concentration that it's not like a thick gel type soap. So we're gonna put that in here. Drain that out real quick. And it does say 1 to 2 ounces for 1,000 mils of water in a foam cannon. So in the foam cannon, we're gonna just do the same amount. We're gonna do another 2 ounces right into the foam cannon. Right there. Alrighty, we're just gonna rinse it out in the soap bucket real quick just to get a little bit of extra out there. Doesn't hurt to have a little extra soap. All right, so with that, the dilutions are done. Scent, let me mix this around real quick. In the wash bucket, there's really no scent at all. It almost smells just straight up like water. That's kind of interesting to me. I wonder why it doesn't really have a scent in the wash bucket. In the foam cannon, it's pretty much the same. It's just really, really like toned down, so you still get that like tea tree lemony kind of smell, but it's a lot more passive, which is great because it was really intense earlier, and this actually smells quite pleasant now. With that being said, we're gonna get started washing my BRZ with this, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, so it's really not foaming, it's more just spraying soap onto the surface. So I'm gonna add a little bit more soap to the foam cannon because I think the dilution ratio is just a little bit off. So it took a little bit of finessing. I ended up actually having to use about 3.5 to 4 ounces of soap solution to the water, and kind of mess with my settings a lot on my foam cannon. The foam produced isn't, I wouldn't necessarily say the thickest foam, but it is really, really solid. It also has a lot of hang time. It's still clinging to the car. And I've been doing this for about 5 minutes now, so normally most soaps would completely drip off in that time frame, so this is really good. for its actual like dilution ratio, and actually works really well for lifting stuff off of the car. That being said, we're gonna actually get into washing it so that we can see how it actually reacts and how the soap actually behaves. So, all right. So it is a very slick soap. I would honestly say this is one of the slickest soaps that I've used. So that's a really big plus. Unfortunately, just because of how the weather decided to be, right as we came outside, the sun kind of got tucked away behind some clouds, so we might not actually be able to test how resistant to sunlight it is, but if the sun comes back out, we will definitely take a look at that. So I'm gonna just time lapse scrubbing down the rest of my car, and then I'll get back to you. So I took some notes. So just going down everything, for packaging, I actually really liked the packaging. All of the stuff that I addressed that were like problems were super nitpicky things. But all in all, I would give packaging a 4 out of 5. It's honestly a really great looking product. Scent, I would give a 3 out of 5. That's because when it's concentrated, it's a little bit much, it's a little intense. But when it's diluted, it's an amazing scent, and I loved the way it smelled. And when it was foamed, it smelled even better. So I would say probably a 3 out of 5 on that, just because of how aggressive it is in concentration. Price per use. So this is where we have to get into some math. So it's $20 for a 16-ounce bottle of soap. You use 4 ounces per wash. That's $5 a wash. And you only get 4 washes out of the container. So the reason why that's a little bit of a spot for me is what I normally use, P&S Pearl. Same dilution ratios, and for a 16-ounce bottle, it's $13.50 for the highest price of it online. So that would be $3.37 per wash, and 4 washes per bottle. So you save $1.63 with the same volume, same dilution ratios. So I would give price probably a 2.5 out of 5. I think the reason why the price is so high is this is their main product. So it's gonna be the high price product for a little bit until they build out their product line. So we might revisit this down the road once they get a few more products and actually change the rating on this pricing, because the price might change. That being said, that price point is not a bad price point. It's just that it's a little steep. It's not too steep. It's a little steep. It's a little bit more expensive than average. So getting into the product specific stuff, lubrication, 5 out of 5. This is the most like lubricating soap I have ever used. Honestly, it works really great. It's really slick. It cleans really, really well. It pulls stuff off the surface amazingly. It is one of the best soaps for that. So that's getting a 5 out of 5. And I don't really think I need to explain that really much further. Sun protection. We did get a little bit of sun on it for a few minutes while we were doing that time lapse of the wash. I would say that the sun protection is about 3 out of 5. It's kind of average. It really didn't have anything special about it. It just sat on the car, which is what you want, but most professional level car soaps will do that. Foam production, I gave that a 3.5 out of 5. It has the same foam production as Pearl, but that might be just due to the foam cannon that I'm using and not using a different foam cannon. So that might be very much a my case use situation. So that's why it's a 3.5 out of 5, not a 3 out of 5. I will say that that foam did stick for a considerable amount of time. If you watch the time lapse, that time lapse of me washing the car was about 15 minutes of actual footage. So that soap hung on for a considerable amount of time. So that's really, really good. So final thoughts. It's a really, really great soap. It performs really, really well. Price point's a little bit rough for some people. What I will say is I think you are getting a really, really good soap for the price. I would say that if this were my company, I would drop it by about $1.50 in price. That being said, there might be extenuating circumstances as to why it's $20 a bottle that I'm not privy to. So I'm gonna break down if I would recommend this to people into 3 different categories. We have like general consumers, car enthusiasts, and then we have detailing professionals, right? So for a general customer, I honestly wouldn't recommend this product for them. That being said, this isn't a product that was designed for them or is being marketed to them. This isn't a product for a general consumer. This is a product for a car enthusiast and a professional detailer. 9 times out of 10, most consumers, when they go buy some car wash soap, they're not looking for extreme foaming or like high foam production, foam cannon. They're not looking for that. They get like Meguiar's Gold, just glug some of it into a bucket without measuring, and then wash their car. So this product isn't really meant for them, and that is completely fine. For car enthusiasts, I would say definitely look into this product. I think on a case-by-case basis, you're gonna have to decide if the price point is good for you. But I think if you really care about your car, you want to be able to clean your car efficiently and be able to do it with a really, really high quality product, this is one of those products you should look at. That being said, that $20 for 16 ounces might be a bit much for some of you. And like I said, that's kind of a case-by-case basis. That's dependent on the individual. For detailing professionals, this is where it gets a little complicated. I would say if you get into the affiliate program for them and you get that 25% off, I would say go for it. I would say maybe add this to your options. Maybe use this for when you're doing mobile. It's made washing the car very, very quick and very easy. So if you're mobile, that time saving of it being super, super slick might be worth it to add this to your arsenal for when you're out in the environment and having to deal with the sun or rain or what have you. So I would definitely look into it for that. If you aren't getting into the affiliate program, I would say wait and see what else is brought into the product line, and when the product line expands, if the prices go down. That being said, honestly, I'm gonna keep the bottle. I'm not giving it away or anything like that. It's a good soap. I'm gonna continue to use the soap for a little bit, see if I can fine tune it a little bit, and if I do, I'll bring you guys back in and we'll talk about some things that I've noticed or some things that I've changed that made it perform a little bit better. But that being said, yeah, if anybody from Blackline is seeing this, you guys made a really, really great product, and I'm definitely going to be a repeat customer at some point. Maybe not in the near future, but I'm definitely going to be buying more stuff from you guys because it's really, really good. And you guys are really great people, so I appreciate what you guys are doing for the car enthusiasts and detailers out there. That being said, that's it for this video. So please like, comment, subscribe, do all the YouTube things, right? Remember, every hero is the villain of someone else's story. With that, have a wonderful rest of your day. Peace.